All right, welcome back, everybody, for the third iteration of this show. This is Top 10 Toys. I started this over on Renovision and decided this is going to be one of the pillars of the new shows we're doing over here on my new toy channel, Toy Informer. There was a Toy Informer before this. We kind of let it die on the vine because we didn't keep up with it. So I decided to bring it back and bring it back as my little pet project to talk about all the toys and collectibles that I love. And with that said, one of those things I'm bringing back is this show, Top 10 Toys, where I'm going to cover the top 10 most valuable toys in different runs and waves, going back to nostalgic runs from the 80s and 70s to more current things with some recent Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe classifieds, which is what we are actually going to cover today. Today, we're going to be looking at G.I. Joe classifieds, particularly some exclusives. We will do a separate show later down the line where we'll cover some of the regular release items, the ones you can go and find on the shelves at your Targets, at your Walmarts, wherever you're buying your toys, whatever toy stores and whatnot you go to. Those ones will be a separate show. These are strictly going to be covering all of those exclusives from different conventions, HasLabs, Hasbro Pulse, things like that. All these special releases that have come out over the years and give you the best 10. The top 10 as far as resale value goes. Hopefully you're enjoying this channel. It is brand new after all. It is in its infancy, so we don't have a lot of content yet here. I am open to feedback and suggestions. Tell me what kind of content you guys want to see on a toy channel, and I will see what I can do because I like toys almost as much as comics. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to having this little side project of my own to do and explore that. So with that said, make sure you comment down below and give me that feedback. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you hit that alert button so you don't miss anything. Tell your friends so we can grow this channel because, again, we only got a few subs right now. We got a long way to go to catch up with Renovision, but I'm sure we will get there sooner rather than later. But apart from that, if you haven't given Whatnot a try, now's your chance. First-time users, you get a free $15 on me. Click the link down below, sign up, free $15 on me to buy whatever you want with whomever you want. No restrictions, no strings attached. You try it out for the first time, you got $15 to buy whatever you like. Not only will you help the channel, but you get yourself something for free just for giving it a try. Nothing to lose. So if you haven't tried Whatnot before, give it a try down below. And with that said, if you want to see this new first run. So this is technically my season 3, episode 1 for Top 10 Toys, G.I. Joe exclusives for G.I. Joe Classified. Just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into Top 10 Toys. As I mentioned, these are going to be the top 10 most valuable toys in this run. Specifically, we're talking about G.I. Joe Classified exclusives. Before we get into the list, though, I do have an honorable mention for you. So let's kick that off here and give you that first one first. That is this 3-pack. You got Baroness, you got Tomax, you got Xamot. This is the Crimson Strike team that came from the Hasbro PulseCon from 2023. So last year's Hasbro PulseCon, which was like a little online convention that Hasbro was running, they released this special G.I. Joe set with these figures, which we do have regular versions, in their Crimson Guard uniform. So you got all these different extra little accessories, etc. with them. Here you see a pretty cool box from Extensive Enterprises, which was Tomax and Xamot's company, you know, from the old cartoons and comics. And look at all those accessories. You got the twisty knives and blades, extra bits of hair and glasses for Baroness. You got Tomax and Xamot, mirror images of each other. This is a pretty cool set. The box opens up as well. We're giving you not only displays of the figures, but you can see all their little extras and whatnot are going to be down below. It's a pretty cool set. The reason why this finds itself on the honorable mention list is because this actually sells for less than it cost when it came out. When this came out, the MSRP on this was $89.99. $90 for this 3-pack. So it's $30 a figure, which is about on par with what you would expect for an exclusive and an exclusive set. But as of now, the average sale price on this thing is only 69 bucks. This is $20 cheaper than when it came out. So because of that, it's not making the top 10. But it is an honorable mention because it's still a pretty cool set. And I think it's worth 70 bucks to get these three. If you're into it, look, even Baroness got that cool mask if you want to get into that. But there you go. That is our first one for the run, our honorable mention. It's selling at a discount. The rest of these will be selling at a premium. Granted, some of the premiums will be much larger than others, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But let's kick it off with our first one, number 10. This was on my original list from 2021. I think that's when I did that first video here. Well, actually, I did it one over on Renovision, but top 10 toys. I was actually top 5 toys, and I covered the top 5 G.I. Joe classified, and this one made the list. This is a Cobra Commander Snake Supreme. This is a Hasbro Pulse figure. It came with a nice fancy box. Granted, this was released in stores after the fact, but I believe it first started as a Hasbro Pulse release, which is why it's in the exclusives list here. But you were able to find this, I believe, in stores at one point. The box was really cool. It was kind of like a little slip case, and then it opened up like this, and then you got to see the figure inside. Pretty cool Cobra Commander. I mean, plus, if you like Cobra Commander, you got the pretty badass sword. You got a scepter. A lot of fun stuff here, and plus a nice soft goods cape. So you can't go wrong there. To get a better look at it, MSRP was 30 bucks, but average sales on this guy now is a little over 62 bucks, almost $63. So doubling up from where it first came out. This is still a collectible figure, even from that first run from a couple of years ago. This one has, maintained value. So yeah, if you got one, good on you. That was number 10. Let's take it to number 9 on the list, which I believe is this fancy fellow right here, Chuckles, with his Hawaiian shirt. Yes, there is a beat up face here because in the comics, Chuckles did get beat up a couple times. But this is a San Diego exclusive on this one. Pretty fun box on this, as you can see here. You got Chuckles, a little undercover. He's got the Hawaiian lei, the Hawaiian shirt, all of that fun stuff. Boom. The beat up face is kind of covered up by my number 9. Sorry, but that's what's back there. So you can swap out heads. You can have a non beat up version or the beat up version. It's up to you. And you even got some brass knuckles on that figure down below. Give him some headphones. Nice little holster there. You got that little chest holster. That's a fun little touch. A lot of weapons and accessories on this thing. You even get a little file folder. A lot of cool stuff. And it started at 42 bucks, $41.99. Had you bought this at San Diego Comic-Con. And had you bought one today, well, you get yourself almost 70. $68.57 are the average sales on this Chuckles exclusive. So not too bad. You get a nice little premium on this collectible had you got one. I do not have Chuckles. I did not go to San Diego, but if I can find one for a decent price, I might consider it because this is a pretty fun figure, in my opinion. Up next, we got a trio. So at number 8, we got a trio of figures here to show you. We got some Cobra figures, and I dig the dude with the brain. I forget what he was called, but anyway, these are the Cobra Hiss Fire Team 788. So this is a crew troop builder set, basically. I mean, you know how it goes with these sets. Troop builders, you got a lot of Cobra infantry type characters. Yes, they are kind of unique, but at the same time, they are unnamed characters. They are from the Cobra Hiss team. Pretty cool set. Hasbro Pulse. You got a Cobra Hiss officer, a Range Viper, and infantry. I think the Range Viper is the one that has like the brain head from way back in the day. I think it was blue was the original figure, but this is a red version to go with the Cobra Hiss tank. MSRP on this thing was 80 bucks. So Hasbro Pulse, 80 bucks. Pretty cool box. You get all 3 figures with all of these accessories. A lot of fire and blasts, etc. Bandoliers, bandanas, backpacks, axes, size. A lot of cool stuff. There's so many cool accessories that they give you in these figures today that I wish they gave us when I actually used to play with these toys as a youth. As a kid. You guys remember your G.I. Joes when you were a kid. I'm sure many of you do. The weapons were the best part. look at how many they give you these days. You can accessorize, change things up. So cool. That said, today, the 80 bucks, this one, I almost put it number 10 just because of the increase isn't all that much, but I decided to just base this strictly on price. So at 81.98, even though it's only $2 over the original cost, that's where we find ourselves here with number 8. It is a troop builder set after all, and a lot of the troop builder sets they don't really command a lot of a premium, like you got the Viper sets, etc. But they are still cool to have. And this one's a little bit over, so I'm just going off of the baseline price, and the baseline price still puts it in at number 8. Now, number 7, I believe this was a set that actually came out on that original list too. This is a Snake Eyes exclusives. This is the deluxe, the original deluxe from Hasbro Pulse Snake Eyes figure. Came in this nifty box here. A lot of cool stuff inside this thing. It's been re-released with Timber and etc. And you got a lot of different versions of Snake Eyes since then. But this original Hasbro Pulse release was $40 when it came out. Comes with all these weird not weird, but comes with all these extra accessories with the little decorations. You got a spear, some commas, some axes, some sais, some katanas. He's got his Uzi. Really cool stuff. Like again, the accessories on these things are phenomenal. Love it, love it, love it. $40 this originally cost, and today this thing is averaging about 110. So a lot of interest still in Snake Eyes. Again, you got all this cool stuff, and you got the logo right there on his sword, his sword sheath. So that is also a cool little add on there. But $40 to 110 is a decent premium for this figure, and it comes in only at number 7. Only goes up from here. Only goes up from here. So let's roll on and see what we got for our number 6, and it is Dr. Mindbender. You guys remember this dude? He had that soft goods cape, the little cape. He's got it again. His monocle, Pringles mustache, and all. Mindbender was a cool figure. Yes, I wondered why this mad scientist type character didn't have a shirt, but he didn't have a shirt. That's how he rolled. But this deluxe Dr. Mindbender figure was a San Diego exclusive, and it's rolling in at number 6. Again, pretty cool box. They reused this box design for a couple of these. You'll see it come back a little bit later. But you got extra skulls. Look at that dead hand. All kinds of fun little weird science techie type things. Box slides out, opens up. See your figure. See all your weird stuff. Even the box design accentuates all of those little accessories. So you can just leave it in here as is, or you can take it out. Up to you. And this $42 would have cost you at San Diego. Today, averaging about $112. So you can see a little more than Snake Eyes, and it is a pretty cool Dr. Mindbender figure here. So yeah, steel cod piece and all. No shirt, because he don't need it. It's Mindbender. Up next, rolling in the top half of the list, we get my buddy Dom Tober, his favorite character, Zartan. Now, there have been subsequent releases of this character since, but the original Master of Disguise figure came out with PulseCon back in 2021. So a few years ago. This one is coming in at number 5. And you can see here, I already changed the figure because like the original figure, color change. Out in the sun, he turns like dark blue. Why? I don't know. I don't know how that's a disguise or how that's a camouflage, but it was a cool effect for a toy when we were kids to put this guy out in the sun and he would turn blue. I don't know why that was cool, but it was. That said, here's the box. Again, it's got a pretty fun wheel that you can spin the faces on it because Zartan is the Master of Disguise after all, and he comes with a plethora of heads here. The cost was only $37 when it came out, but you can see here, like all these different masks you can put on him. Mask. You could put a Storm Shadow head on him. You could put a Snake Eyes head on him. You could put a skull face on him. And he's got the backpack too that had the little masks inside, just like the original. Cool stuff. Bow and arrow. A lot of weapons here. A lot of fun stuff. This figure, $37 today, averaging a healthy $161. $161 for this Zartan figure. I believe this picture here that I'm showing you is one of the newer variations because I didn't have a cool picture to show you of the original, but you get the idea. It's set up pretty much the same. The older one, the original Master of Disguise figure, had a lot more accessories than the subsequent releases. I believe subsequent release recolored with more darker tones, so you didn't get that blue, the original blue purple. But still cool nonetheless. And you got that like Mission Impossible backpack. Like Ethan Hunt making the face. That's number 5. Number 4, speaking of my buddy Dom, this is his other favorite character, I believe, Serpentor. I was a big fan of this character as well. I love that original story. There was something cool about it as a kid with them going getting the DNA of all those ancient rulers and Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, etc., putting them in and making like the master leader bad guy that could end all be all. Serpentor. It was cool. It was a fun story. It was like a week-long thing too, so it was like one of the few like continuing like storylines because cartoons didn't do that a lot. And every time they did back in the day, it was a real event. It was like, damn, I'm not playing outside this week. I got to be here and watch every one of these episodes because unless you got the VCR set to time and tape record this thing, what am I going to watch this? So I got to watch my G.I. Joe this week. That said, Serpentor was also a G.I. Hasbro Pulse initial release. So the Serpentor with his air chariot, just like the original when it was released. It's just this is a little bit bigger. We got the 6-inch figure now. So I told you the box to Mindbender would be similar. It is to how we look here. And this comes with that awesome chariot. It's a new revamped version, but it is just like the original, as is the figure with the extra little, Cobra hood behind the soft goods cape. And you got the extra little weapons there and the claws and the staff. Awesome accessories. As I said, lot of fun stuff here. Plus the box makes it all display nice and you don't have to open it if you don't want to, and you can still appreciate the figure inside. Really cool stuff. But if you did open it up, you got all of this stuff to deal with, and that original $80 investment could net you $186 today. So not bad. Not bad of a premium on this figure from 2021 to today. So, yeah, pretty cool. Plus, you got that extra little snake, just like the original, too. Now, the next one, and some of the other ones we got here coming in at the end are going to be a little pricier at the start, but you will still see there is a healthy premium on them. And the reason why they have a bigger price buy-in at the start, just like our Serpentor here, is because the vehicle aspect of this. So here you got not only just a figure, but you got his air chariot. So $80 is what the buy-in was. A bit higher than normal, but still, you got over $100 in return on investment there, as far as price goes today. So keep that in mind as well. But our next number 3 is also a vehicle set, and that is one of the original vehicle sets. Clutch with the Vamp. Awesome. Like the original Jeep was awesome. This is just done in a way that it honors the original vehicles. Like that's what they've done with these new versions. They honor the originals, but add extra details and add those extra little bells and whistles to make them new and exciting and not look cheesy. Like it just, this thing is awesome, and it fits the 6-inch figure, so it is big, or bigger than the original figures. When you're dealing with a 3 3/4 figure, you can have a Jeep that's this big. You got a 6-inch figure, now your Jeep's got to be like this. Obviously upscaling, but this is our number 3 Clutch with the Vamp. You got an extra helmet, extra accessories here with the extra gas tanks, etc. You got those big old gunners on the back. You can see him posing with the vehicle because you got to build the vehicle, which was also one of the best parts. To be honest, I loved building all of the G.I. Joe vehicles and putting the stickers on them, the decals, etc. It was, I don't know, it was one of my favorite things to do. Every time I got a new vehicle, couldn't wait to build it. Couldn't wait to build the thing. This thing, since it is a vehicle, it's a full-on Jeep with a figure, had a healthy buy-in of $100, $99.99. But had you purchased one when it came out, $212.50 is the average right now for this clutch set with the Vamp Jeep. So yeah, you would have done all right if you had invested in this. I didn't get this Jeep. This one I didn't buy in because again, I just run out of space and run out of extra income to just or spending money, spend it all on comics. Couldn't buy these toys, but that's also a pretty awesome shotgun he's holding there too. Listen, they really sell these things with some of these images. Like you put it in like in the desert scene here, let your imagination run wild. These things, it just really makes you want to buy it. Just like I remember wanting to buy this next one, which comes in at number 2. At number 2, yeah, that original Hiss Tank. I wanted this. I remembered when this came through, and this was actually a HasLab feature. So this was one of those ones you had to go and like buy in and then like pledge and say that you wanted to buy it. And if they sold enough of them, they would actually make them. If they didn't, this would never get done. I wanted this, but the buy-in was pretty steep, to be honest. But again, figure, you remember the original Hiss Tank. That was for a little figure, 3 3/4. This is for a 6-inch figure. So we'll show you in a second the size differential. But this thing was from a couple of years ago. It actually came out, and it's in people's hands now. They reached those extra milestone markers, and extra figures and whatnot were included here. But look at all those decals and extra bits that came with it, with the extra bells and whistles. Big old box here at number 2. This thing is huge. Again, here, there's the original Hiss Tank on the side there with 3 3/4. This is what the new one is with the 6-inch figures. You can actually put figures in the back of this thing, as well as in the top to run those, run the blasters. But in the back, it's almost like a van. Awesome, but it came with a healthy buy-in of $300. $300, and I just couldn't do it at the time. Just couldn't do it as much as I wanted to, but I probably should have. Because $300 not only would have got you, the Crimson Driver, which was always one of my favorite figures. I love that the driver of the Hiss Tank. Something about the look with the goggles and the red. It's a pretty cool figure. They added and upgraded this thing with if there's lights, like the dashboard inside lights up with lights. I think it projects a Cobra symbol out the front of it. As I mentioned before, the back opens up here and there's lights inside, and like figures can run in and out of the back of this thing. And you got the tank tracks and the awesome. And then, like I said, they added all these extras. So when they reach certain milestones, so when they reach 10,000 buy-ins, they added these rockets here on the sides. And when they added the next step, which was 12,000, they added the original cover casing because they kind of revamped it to new. So just the original straight up plastic cover casing, as well as these sidebar panels for the tank tracks. Added that. At 14,000, they added extra figures with this female version of the Hiss Tank driver with these extra weapons and a shovel to help dig it out if it got stuck. Awesome. Thing kept making money, so they kept adding things. At 16,000, you got the original Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. Mickey Mouse, because of the way that the logo was printed out on his chest, it looks like Mickey Mouse, as you can see, there. That is a variant of the original Cobra Commander that does pretty well. And it's a fun callback that they made this figure specifically with that Cobra design for that reason. And it's got all these extra bits here too. So awesome. $300, unlocked all these extras too. Had I bought one today, this thing averages $490 that you can get for one of these. So definitely a nice investment. Could have got yourself a couple extra $100 if you decided to get one and then sell it down the line. But yeah, kind of wish I would have bought in, but like I said, $300, it was just a bit too steep for me at the time. Finally, we got one left. That's on number 2. Our number 1 is another vehicle, and it is another one that you kind of had to pre-order. This one, I think, is coming out this year. I think it came through Hasbro Pulse last year. This is the Dragonfly, the assault helicopter. You remember this with Wild Bill? This is one of those the first wave of vehicles with the original bits. Awesome toy with the original. And it was still pretty big, even for the 3 3/4. So this thing is massive. But like I said, the Dragonfly, Started with Hasbro Pulse. I believe it's getting shipped out this summer, so people who did pre-order it will be getting it soon. And Wild Bill was the figure with it. Pretty awesome. He kind of looks like Kurt Russell's character in The Thing, at least in this picture. Granted, he just has just the mustache. He doesn't have the full-on, McCready beard, but that's the vibe I'm getting. But pretty fun. He's got the 6 shooters going in the holsters on the side. Give you a sense of the size of this thing. They give you a silhouette to tell you that, it's 11 inches tall, it's 34 inches wide, it's 13 or 14 inches deep. This thing, especially with the spinning propellers, it's huge. It's 2.5 feet long. 2.5 feet long. I don't have a place to put this, which is why I couldn't order one. This thing, again, is pretty badass. You can look here. Extra figures were unlocked with this one as well. You can see, I think that figure that came with it here was one of the originals, like the mail-aways, where you can make yourself a G.I. Joe figure. And I think this was the figure they mailed you when you filled out the thing, because I had this dude. And you would fill out the card, and they put all your details in for you. But it was a generic figure with no face, because it could be for anybody. But still pretty cool. And they include that guy here. Also unlocked in this thing at 13,000, I think was the first unlock. Yeah, unlocked at 13,000. You got another air trooper here. Look, yeah, that silencer you can attach to that weapon there. The magazines come out. Attention to detail on these things are just awesome. Backpacks and goggles, helmets, etc. Unlocked at 16,000. You get Jane Glenda Mulligan, another pilot here. Pretty cool. Look, you got all the extra weapons and helmets, extra hairs and hats, headsets. Really cool stuff. At 19,000, you unlocked another figure to put in this thing. This guy's got a ball cap, etc. Crazy Legs parachute dude. Awesome. All this stuff in this set, $275. A little bit cheaper than the His Tank. I would have thought it would have been a little bit more. And you can see next to Wild Bill, there's a stand that's kind of a clear plastic-y kind of thing that you can put the Dragonfly on, and it kind of will display it in the air, which is also kind of cool. And you got those extra little flames and so it looks like blasts and boosters, etc. So cool. These things are so cool. They're just too expensive, and I have no place to put them. But man, I wish I could get all this stuff. But see, here's an example with it display on that display stand. Really cool stuff. And then you can see also the extra added with the flames and the blasts added there. There's also light up features on this one too. So inside, the whole dashboard lights up. This thing's awesome. $275. And like I said, it is coming and finally being delivered very, very soon. Got some more pictures here. You got 2 figures that fit inside this thing. So you got Wild Bill, and you can have another figure riding along there, and all these extra rockets and missiles and whatnot. The propellers actually work and spin. But right now, the average sales in this thing, $576. So doubling up, basically. Wow. Wish I would have ordered one of these too. But what can we do? We can't have it all, but I love looking at all this stuff. Wish I had it. Wish I had the space for it. Wish I had the display area for it. But unfortunately, I just have to look at it and appreciate it for what it is. If any of you guys have any of these, share what you got. Share where you got them. Tell the stories. That's also part of the fun, is the stories of how you get some of these figures. I know not all the time. Some it's just, well, I just pre-ordered it and it showed up. I get that. Other times it's like, I had to wait in line for this long, whatever. I had to enter a raffle and get it at the table, for some of those store exclusives, that kind of stuff. Or you just stumble upon it and you get it at a good price, whatever it might be. Share in the comments down below. That's all I got for you for this first redo and restarting of Top 10 Toys, covering G.I. Joe Classified. We just did the exclusives this time. I will cover the regular figures at some point down the line. I don't want to just overdo it with G.I. Joe too much at the start. So the next time out, we'll do something else. But for now, again, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for all the support. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you all later with some more content. All right?